Okaeri, welcome back to another Japan Life reading vlog. Now I'm actually filming this intro clip after the videos or the clips that you're about to see after this of me going to see the cherry blossoms, because I filmed the cherry blossoms when I went because I wanted to make sure I shared that with you guys. I thought it was something you would really enjoy. But then I realized I never filmed an intro to the vlog that I took those clips for. So this is me a couple days later doing the intro and checking in with you guys. So it is now pretty much officially spring in Japan. The nights are still chilly, as are the mornings, but in the daytime in the sun, it's gorgeous. There's also another big life change in that I've started maternity leave for the next month and a half before baby comes. I will still be doing work here and there, maybe some online work as well, but I'm now shifting away from the steady in-person work that I've been doing. Which means I'm not really sure what my schedule is going to be looking like this month. I might be able to read a lot more than I have been, which would be wonderful to be able to take some time to do that before baby kind of takes over everything, and rightfully so. So that could be the case, that you'll see an uptick in content here or in my reading output. But there are a couple other things that I'm doing as well that may end up taking a bit more of my time than I expect. So we'll just see. I'm learning along with you guys how this is gonna go. Maternity leave is a very normal thing that many women do. And I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to do that. But my personality is just very box checky. I like to feel productive and all that stuff. So it's an adjustment for me. So we'll see. We'll see what this next month and a half looks like. But outside of those personal updates, I have a reading update, which is that I finished Jade City today. I sat and read this for way longer than I expected. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff around the house this morning. I had a lot of my to-do list for visas and other things. And then this book completely sucked me in, and it never let me go. So I've been reading for like the past 4 hours and I finished it. And I mean, who is surprised that this is 5 glowing stars from me? Look at these, look at the amount of tabs in this book. It's almost embarrassing. I used probably two and a half tabs of like green tabs, because that means like or enjoy, and I enjoy myself so much when reading these books that like most of the tabs, a lot of the tabs are green. I use probably 2 full tab sheets. It's a mess, it's a problem. It's one of my top series of all time for a reason, and this was my first reread, and I must say it held up beautifully upon reread. The intricacies of this world are just, they're incredible. I want to stay away from spoilers here for anyone who hasn't, read the series, but the same scenes that broke my heart the first time and got visceral reactions from me, got them the second time around. I teared up in public when a certain scene came around, and there was a pause, actually a lull in the middle of my reading this book where I didn't want to pick it up because I knew that scene was coming. And I didn't want to face it, but I did. And I did it in public again, like a dum-dum, because I actually like yelled in public the first time, and then this time I teared up. And the characters who enrage me still enrage me. The one thing that I would say is even better the second time around, and I enjoyed it more, was the detailed political machinations in this book. Because while I enjoyed them the first time around, the second time around, already knowing the basis and knowing where the series goes, I kind of knew what to pay attention to and when. And I thoroughly enjoyed those sections of the book more than I did the first time through. And while it might feel like a lull in the action your first time through the book, the second time through, knowing how everything pans out, those scenes were just as interesting to me. So anyway, I'm going to talk about this in my wrap up, so let me stop rambling. But if you didn't know that I love Jade City and you're on my channel, I don't know what's going on. But this is one of my favorite series of all time, and still is. I was also very lucky and excited to be part of a chat for a read-along of this book over on Philip Chase's channel. We have only talked about Jade City so far, and we're going to be talking about Jade War and Jade Legacy in the coming months. So you can actually look forward to the Jade War live, possibly on my channel, which is so exciting. So if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts about this book, not just my opinions, but the opinions of Philip, Bookborn, and Jimmy, I will be sure to put the link to that video down below. It was a blast. But without further ado, please enjoy the absolutely gorgeous cherry blossoms that bless Japan every year. They were in full bloom, and I was so lucky to be able to go see them twice. I can only do so much walking with how far I am in my pregnancy and how big I am, but I made damn sure to do some walking to be able to see them this year because they were gorgeous. So I didn't do an intro to this, but it is cherry blossom season in Japan. And a friend of mine actually recently just moved to Fukuoka, so I decided I would show him where the good cherry blossom stuff is. Up there is where most of the cherry blossoms are, so I'm just waiting to meet up. Usually people do something called a hanami, which is where you have like a picnic and you drink a lot, eat a lot, and just hang out. Unfortunately, as you can see, the weather is shit today. It's actually raining a little bit. I am under a tree, so it's not so bad at the moment. But obviously, I can't drink this year, and walking takes me a little while. Sitting on the ground is also not really much of an option. So we're just gonna walk around, take a look at the beautiful flowers, maybe get something from the yatai, the like street vendors that are there, and I'll show you guys the beautiful cherry blossoms. So we got the best tacos in Fukuoka from a place called Takomiya. I would recommend this to anyone coming to Fukuoka if you're craving tacos. They are delicious. So I got chicken, carne asada, and pulled pork. I also got some nachos, which unfortunately have been sitting in here for a minute, so they're not as crispy. A quesadilla, and then Hayato got 3 tacos. Ooh. Also, same ones, except I got him a different type of beef instead of carne asada. The ingredients are a bit expensive in Japan, so tacos are quite expensive, but we decided to treat ourselves today. It was a hospital day for baby, so we figure after, you know, all that hospital time, get something yummy. Sleepyhead. Unfortunately, the flowers are a little bit past their prime now, but I had mentioned that I finished my current job, and they got me this beautiful, absolutely stunning bouquet of flowers full of carnations and roses, and it's absolutely stunning. And like I said, they're a little bit past their prime now, which is a shame because I wanted to capture them, you know, at their full glory, but just beautiful. I also got roses from some of my adult students and some other flowers. There was a bigger bouquet, but some of the flowers have met their demise. So this one's gonna go soon. But from some of the parents, I feel so blessed to have just such a beautiful, beautiful send-off. And now I'm kind of addicted to having gorgeous flowers in the living room. I have a feeling I'm gonna be buying myself flowers a bit more often. Also, I love these flowers here. These ones here. If anyone can tell me what these are, please do, because I've never seen them before. I don't know what they are, and I love them, and I want to know for later. Just a quick update on today. I woke up really early this morning before Hayato went to work. So I had breakfast with him, but then I fell asleep after. I did read some of, I don't have my Kindle with me, it's in my bag already, but Elder Epoch, which is an arc that I got from Zamil Akhtar, the 3rd book in the Gunmetal God series, and I love that series. So I read the first 5% of that, and I think we're in for a ride. I heard that he really increased the cosmic horror aspect of this book, and I could definitely see that in even just the first 5%. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting, really fun ride. I can't wait to continue reading it. So I'm gonna take that with me, as well as my computer, to do some editing, because I'm gonna go treat myself to a lunch. I think this place is open, we'll see. According to online they are, so I'm gonna go get myself some lunch. Before now, I had a lot of stuff to do on my computer, like, this is not the right word, but the only word I can think of is like secretarial stuff. Like I've mentioned before here, stuff for visas and like uploading documents, and I also have to buy some tickets for going to the States, actually, for Hayato and his family. We had purchased a bunch of tickets before the pandemic hit, and then the pandemic hit, and of course everything was canceled, and then our credit runs out this year, so we're planning a trip to the States, and there's just a lot of, like, basically the prices of everything has changed, so the credits that I have don't cover the same amount of tickets that they did before, so there's just a lot to work out. Especially traveling with a small infant, which is what we will be doing. It's one of those things where you have to take multiple steps, but every little step counts. So I took the first step at looking at, you know, prices and things like that. So that felt good to get that done. But now I'm gonna go do some stuff for BookTube and read and get myself a lunch, because I'm tired. My pregnancy brain can only take so much at a time in little chunks. So I also watered all the plants, so they're loving on the sunshine right now. It got a lot later than I expected. It's 2 o'clock. I'm very hungry, which can lead to nausea, I've learned through pregnancy, so I'm gonna leave very soon so that stage of hunger does not kick in.
I already took a bite before I started recording. I forgot. I was really hungry. So I've got my lunch here. And I've got Elder Epoch that I'm reading. And I'm just going to relax and enjoy this for a minute.
Hello. All right, being honest, I do not remember the last time I checked in for this. I know that I had recorded the intro out of order, right? And then I showed you guys the cherry blossoms. I don't remember if I recorded a check-in after that, but we're just gonna continue forward as if the last thing you saw here was the cherry blossoms. Just a quick update. I'm gonna keep this vlog a lot shorter than my more recent ones. So I think I'm gonna do this vlog. Today is Wednesday. I think I'm gonna do this vlog until Friday or Saturday and then cut it off. So just a couple updates here. What I'm currently reading is an arc of Elder Epoch by Zamil Akhtar. Let me see if I can pull up the cover here. Here we go. So Zamil was nice enough to send me an arc, and he warned me that this book goes hard, and this book is so fucked up. Like, I've been reading this pretty steadily, I would say, not quite nonstop, but pretty steadily for the past like 2 days. And I am, I think 70% of the way through. It's like 600 pages. And I didn't realize how long it was when I started, but this book is so fucked up. Like, he also told me that he really leans into the Lovecraftian, like eldritch horror aspect in this book, and he really does just go all out with that. So if you enjoy that aspect of Gunmetal Gods and Death Rider and Conqueror's Blood, with each thing he writes, he seems to go further into it. So if you like where he's kind of going with those vibes, then you'll love this book. The first 30%, it took me a while to really kind of get into the book and sink my teeth into it, because as usual, Zamil's pacing is just so fast that it had been a while, and I thought, oh, I don't need to read, you know, story thus far or whatever. I'm fine. But it did take me a while to find my footing again. So story thus far, or a little review, I might recommend if it's been a while since you've read this series, because we do completely just hit the ground running. And Zamil does remind you of things that happened in the previous book here and there. But yeah, it just took me a while. But now that I've found my footing, that's, if you can hear that, in Japan, before elections, people drive cars around with megaphones and yell at you about their campaigns. So if you could hear that a second ago, that's what that was. Just drove past, I guess. So, but I do have my footing now, and I am reading a lot quicker at this point. And I don't know, there's a big sense of, like, this is grimdark, super grimdark. So a sense of nihilism, hopelessness, but I'm starting to get little hints here and there of where we might be going with this, but there's no way that I could predict like the actual plot. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen here. And that's masterfully done. Kin is back on the page, and if you know me, Kin is my favorite. Okay, I love comedy relief side characters, so like Kin writes, and I don't think he's getting enough rights in this book, but I'll take what I can get. So like I said, I'm about 70% of the way through. I am now on maternity leave, which I've mentioned in a couple like lives that I've done, but I don't think I've mentioned like an official video. So my days are structured very differently. And so for today, I do think that I have time to finish this book. So I think I'm going to try to finish this tonight, and then I'll probably pick up something lighter to just not have like fucked up dreams. I mean, that's how you know the book is written well, though, if it's like jumping off the page and affecting my daily life like that. So hopefully I can finish this tonight, this arc, get a little review written up, and then read something a little softer. Or I might watch some Korean dramas tonight. We'll see what I decide to do. It is rainy. overcast day, but you know, April showers bring May flowers. It's not really that surprising, but everything is super green, which is very beautiful to look at. That's nice. Also, Hayato was wonderful, and before he left for work, made some awesome food for me to eat. So I'm not wanting for some nice stuff at the house. So I'll probably get cozy, finish up this stuff. This check-in is way too long. And oh, I have to do some editing too, so I guess I should do that too. Anyway, yeah, I'll check back in with you guys. Today's Thursday. Did I say Wednesday? This is what my brain has been like recently. If any of you watching have also been pregnant and have dealt with the like late stage pregnancy brain, what do you do? Like if I don't write something down, I don't remember it. I can't. It's Thursday morning, not Wednesday. So I'm probably gonna finish this vlog either tomorrow or Saturday. So I'll check back in with you guys when I pick something else up.
It's family dinner night. Hato's sister is visiting Fukuoka from Tokyo. So we've got some handmade boiled, well not boiled yet, but dumplings to be boiled. It's gonna be delicious. 私も3個ね。お願いします。すげえこれなんか。あ、でも無理だ。さすがにうまい。計算合わんし。あれ？あ、じゃあパパのやつさっきの入ってなかったよ。いただきます。はい。いただきます。美味しい。
Okay, so if you can't tell by this hair, I just woke up from one of those naps where like you wake up and you don't know what year it is. What year it is, what time it is. You just, that was a nap, all right? I had to wake up this morning for Friday Conversations, which is really early my time. And after doing some stuff on the YouTubes, answering comments, all that kind of stuff, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a nap and then I'll go for a walk. Girl. Anyway, that nap was wonderful though. I'm kind of recovering now. I just watered all of our plants and don't mind all of the cardboard in the back. We have to take that out to recycle it still. But I am still gonna take that walk. It's getting a little chilly because the sun is starting to go down. So, you know, I missed kind of like the golden hour. But anyway, I'm gonna go take a walk. I just realized that I slept off this wing. And I still have this one. You know, it's a little messed up. I should probably fix that. Anyway. So just an update for what I'm reading, because I think this is the last day I'm going to do for this vlog. I'm trying not to make them so long. I finished Elder Epoch, and that book was fucked up till the end. It's supposed to be. It's on purpose. But, like, it gave me weird dreams, I think I mentioned in my last check-in. It was just... Zamil does not... He goes in with that book. And there's a particular character that he's done a lot with, and where that character is now is not where you would expect them to be when they're first introduced. And I don't know, this character makes me highly uncomfortable. I think they're supposed to. So anyway, I don't want to give anything away because it's the third installment and he does really fast-paced plot, so there's so many things that have happened from the first book to this last book that even talking about like names might give away how the books end. So I'm not gonna do any specifics, but I will say that having read this as an arc, I did put my full review on Goodreads and you can go check it out if you'd like to. But Zamil really digs into the kind of Lovecraftian horror that he started in Gunmetal Gods. So if you really like that aspect of his books, it becomes a lot more prominent in later ones. So I think, you know, you're in for a really fun ride if you like that type of stuff, which I do. He also continues the discussion of cycles of violence and where does it end, and are humans violent by nature? There's a lot of dealing with nihilism. A lot of the characters kind of are struggling with giving in to this cycle, to the inevitability of it all, that kind of thing. So if you like discussions of that kind of part of human nature, I think you'll really like this book as well, or the series in general. I'll also have my full review for Gunmetal Gods, the first in the series, linked down below. That goes into a bit more detail about what the setting and the environment is for this series. It's a Middle Eastern based grimdark world, so I'll have that linked down below, and if it sounds like something up your alley, I would pick up the first one, which is Gunmetal Gods. Then after that book, I needed to pick up something a little bit lighter. And Hayato and I had to go do stuff for driver's licenses, you know, riveting, exciting stuff that requires waiting for a while. So while we were in the waiting room, I started reading Tress of the Emerald Sea. I am currently reading it via ebook because while I did back the Kickstarter, I had those books shipped to the States, which, you know, you guys kind of know by now that if I have a really nice edition of a book that isn't worth the shipping abroad, but I can still access it abroad in another way, and like this one where I knew I was getting the ebook as part of the package, I'm gonna avoid spending that money. My dad sent me a picture of it and it looks absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to get my hands on that. Hopefully Hayato and I will be taking a trip home this year to the States, so I might be able to catch that one. But I am reading the ebook version, and I don't know, I went into this with zero expectations. I knew it was Cosmere, but I didn't watch anyone's reviews, any blurbs about it, nothing. And this is delightful. I'm having so much fun with this book. I love Hoyd, and I'm not gonna say any more than that because I don't want to spoil anything, but just know that his snarky voice is all over this book, and I love it. I don't know how Sanderson always comes up with such unique, interesting ideas for worlds, but I am 15% of the way into this and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Like 5-star vibes thus far, and that's not what I was expecting. Maybe it's because I recently read the 3 novellas from Skyward Flight and those were just solid 3.5s for me, but I guess anything in the Cosmere is gonna have an advantage over stuff from the Skyward series because I'm just more invested in this, but I love this so far and thoroughly enjoying myself. So this is going to be a bit of a quicker read, I think, as I'm already 15% of the way through and I just started it yesterday. So I think I'm going to take that walk, and then depending on how cold it is, if I can find a little spot in the sun, the dying sun, to sit for a little while, maybe, you know, put more layers on, read some more of the book, fix this monstrosity that my hair has become, get a little bit more reading done, and then, I don't know, I guess I could start my audiobook for Before They Are Hanged tonight. I haven't started, I'm like audio lists right now, so I might start that, but I kind of want to like watch Netflix. I don't know, we'll see. So I will check back in with you guys, probably the last check-in for this vlog, when I come back from the walk and decide what I'm going to do with my night. But hopefully I can get farther into Tress and let you guys know if I'm still loving it as much as I am right now. Okay, so I am a big fat liar. I said that I would check back in after I kind of went through my day, before when I woke up from that nap where I didn't really know what year it was. But unfortunately after that I came down with a bit of a cold. I was really not feeling good physically at all. And there's a lot of medicine that I can't take since I'm pregnant, so if you can hear, my voice is still not 100% normal. That could also be due to the fact that Fukuoka is actually getting a huge influx of yellow sand from China. Every year a bunch of this yellow sand gets blown over to Fukuoka and a couple other areas of Japan. And usually it's kind of annoying in that it makes your throat scratchy, and people wear masks when the air pollution or the air quality is pretty bad, and you have to like ride your bicycle or something. A lot of people wear masks to protect their throat, but this year it's exceptionally bad. Like, we have a yellow covering on our car, so I think that could have also really been affecting how crappy I was feeling. I think it's both of those things together. I also find that the heavier my stomach is getting at the end of this pregnancy, I'm sleeping at like a different angle maybe at night, and it's really messing my neck up. So the last couple days I couldn't even really turn my head The right side of my neck was really messed up. Again, there's a lot of like Bengay and stuff like that. At least in Japan, they don't want you to use that while you're pregnant. So I was able to use this kind of organic stuff that my mom sends. Thank God my mom is a massage therapist. So I had some really nice stuff on hand that I could use to help ease the muscle tension, but that took a couple days to finally dissipate, and I'm using a different kind of pillow setup. It seems to be getting better. Anyway, the whole point is I didn't feel up to filming, but today I do feel 90 to 95% better physically and all of that. So I thought I would close out this vlog, keep it short and sweet in the way that I promised. So before I was reading Tress of the Emerald Sea, which was on here. It was a mood read. It wasn't on my TBR for this month, but I wanted to pick up something after Elder Epoch, right? That wasn't so heavy and had a lighter feel to it. And I finished Tress last night and it is exactly what I wanted. It is very fairy tale adjacent, but with the world building that I love so much from Sando. I gave it 5 stars because it was exactly what I needed in the moment. It also is told from a narrative voice that is very, very snarky and a character that I love. I don't want to give anything away, but it's very tongue-in-cheek, kind of break the fourth wall kind of vibe. And I just, it's everything that I needed in that moment. Is this objectively a perfect book? I don't think so. And if the narrative voice doesn't work for you, then this is definitely not going to work. In the way that if you don't like Wayne as a character, Era 2 is not going to work. It's one of those things. But it worked for me. And it really reminded me of Dawn Shard, which is my other favorite novella by Sando. Kind of had similar vibes to that. Maybe I just like when Sanderson writes novellas about people on ships. Maybe that's like a niche market that I love. But I just found myself smiling every single time that I picked this up. I did go through it a bit slower than I imagined. I think mainly because I wasn't feeling so good. It was a lot harder to focus for like longer stretches of time. But every time I picked this up, I found myself full of enjoyment. So, loved this book. Now I have just bought the ebook, Who Even Am I, of Untethered Sky. Only Fond du Lis could get me to spend a full price, ebook price for a Tor novella. That thing was like $11, $12 for the ebook of like 120 pages. Like, only Fond du Lis. Only for Fond du Lis would I do this. So I have downloaded Untethered Sky, and the interview with Fond du Lis is actually tomorrow, so I plan to read this today. I feel like I'm gonna end up getting a physical copy too, which is like ridiculous for my wallet, sorry. I say that and I haven't even started reading it yet, but it just has all the hallmarks of things that I love. So I'm very excited to pick this up. I'm just gonna be hanging out around the house, taking it easy since I'm not exactly 100% yet. I had a Japanese lesson this morning, got some homework I need to do, that kind of thing. If you guys are enjoying these kind of more steady vlogs where I continuously show you what I'm reading, not necessarily weekly, but bi-weekly seems to be a good system for me. Let me know in the comments down below and maybe I'll start another vlog right after this one and continue the momentum. I also really hope you enjoyed the cherry blossoms and the Japan footage this time around. I adore spring. I love flowers, and there's a reason that there's a whole sakura season in Japan because they're so beautiful. It's actually wisteria season right now as well, but with the sand acting up as it has been the last couple days, I haven't really gone out to see them, so I might miss them this year. But there are some really beautiful wisteria festivals as well on Kyushu. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and I appreciate it. But for now, I'm gonna head out. Ja ne!